If you're sick and tired of being in a serve rut, then this is the most important serve video you might ever watch, because you're not going to hear this probably ever again on YouTube. Most of the videos on YouTube are talking about how to fix the Waiter Tray serve and how to serve just like Roger Federer and all that kind of stuff. This is not that type of video. This is what's going on in your world. I've been playing and coaching now close to 40 years, over 40 years. Oh my God, that's terrible. Anyway, it's true. And I've met so many of you totally obsessed tennis players now in person, which has been great. And I can tell you that when we're talking about adult tennis, okay, so this video is not for Tsitsipas or Holger Rune, right? They're going to go play the French Open next. They're not watching this video. You're watching this video. So this is about you, okay? Not a hot star junior who's getting ready to go play college tennis. And when we look at recreational serving, there are two types of serve motions, okay? Most recreational tennis players, especially we're talking about 4-0 and below, they either have a pushing motion, meaning that they kind of punch and push their serve, or they have a swinging or throwing motion, okay? So they're either pushing the serve in or they're stroking the serve in. But everybody's trying to learn how to serve the same way when they go online. Everybody wants to learn how to serve like Roger Federer. And you're skipping so many steps. So the first question you really need to ask yourself is, what do you really want out of your serve? Do you really want to just learn the art of serving? You want to learn how to serve quote unquote the right way? Well, then keep watching those serve videos. Or do you just want to, no, if I'm going to be honest with you, Pete, I really don't care if it looks exactly like Roger Federer or Serena Williams. I just want to win more matches. Then you have to then ask yourself, well, what do I do? Do I push my serve in, or do I have a throwing motion? And I find that the easiest path to success for most people out there is actually just push their serve in the box. Look at that. I just pushed that serve in the, that was not a bad serve at all. Some of you guys would take that right now to the bank and go play. That's going to be a lot easier motion than learning how to have the continental grip and coming here and coming up on edge and hitting all that stuff. Because what I find is that recreational tennis, we've got about 50% of the players out there, 4-0 and below, it's like a split to me, that push their serve, 50% that throw their serve. And I would say only about 25% of the people that have a throwing or swinging motion on their serve, I'd say only about 25% of those people that I've met have all the check marks in place to where they are very close to developing a serve that's a weapon, that they can hit big first serves, they can get aces, they can dominate their serve games, they can develop a dependable second serve. Like they're close, they've got it almost all locked in. Only about 25%. Okay, so that means that 75% of you out there playing, of all the tennis players, right, you have a long way to go to actually develop this serve to where it's going to be functional in a match, to where you throw the ball up, you're able to swing around it, you're able to put the spin on the ball and hit it in consistently. There's not many of you out there that are close. Now that doesn't mean that you shouldn't aspire to do that, or you shouldn't try and learn to do that. But you have to really ask yourself, why? Why are you trying to learn this serve? Why do you want it to look just like Roger Federer, Serena Williams, or whoever your favorite player is on TV? Why do you want that? Do you want that just because you want to learn the art of tennis and you want to learn the right way? Or do you want to win your matches? Because many of you out there cannot have your cake and eat it too in the short term. Maybe in a year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 years, maybe. okay? But it's going to take a lot of consistent progression work, which is inside my 7-day serve challenge, by the way, if you really want that serve. I also have lessons this year at your level if you're not ready for that. So make sure you go to 7dayservechallenge.com. We're starting February 20th, and it's absolutely free. So I'll put it up here right now. But the reason why I'm asking you this is because you have to decide, is it about winning this month, this year, or is it about the art of the serve and you're okay delaying your gratification a couple years down the road? This is what juniors have to accept. This is what I had to accept when I was a junior. It took me a while to actually develop my serve to where it was functional in a match, right? But a lot of adults, they're hungry, they say they want it, but then they also want to win their matches, okay? So if you're somebody who, when you're looking at everything and the pieces are really, really difficult for you, the first thing I want you to look at is figure out, do you push or punch your serve in? If you push or punch your serve in, you can actually develop a pretty dependable, reliable serve that's consistent, that has nice pace on it, that's not going to be thrashed in a match. Because you're not serving against Novak Djokovic. Sure, would Novak Djokovic start to hit winners on those all day? Yes, but you're not playing Novak Djokovic. You're not playing Serena Williams. You're playing another 3-0 or 3-5 or 4-0 across the net. And I'm telling you, if you hit the serves I just hit right there, not many people are going to absolutely abuse that serve all day to where you cannot hold serve. Okay, and you can actually even hit that serve harder, and you can probably, the way I was serving there, you can probably serve that pace in for a second serve. The perfect best example you can look at right now, go to YouTube after this video, type in tennis troll and type in MEP, the most exhausting player, and look at his serve motion. He goes out there and routinely will beat low 4-5 and pretty strong 4-0 players with a pushing serve. He's got a pushing motion. He just basically goes up there and he puts it in. You know, so just to kind of show you, you know, think about how much easier this might be on your life if you decide to go this route. Like if I asked you right now, hey, you know, get right here and give me a high five as hard as you can and put some real effort into it and match my hand. You could probably do that. You probably feel that's pretty, I could do that. But if I told you, okay, now give me a high five like this to where you've got to come right here and then you got to come behind your ear and then you've got to lead up with this part of your hand and then you've got to match me right up here for a high five and be 100% accurate with it, you know, and then add spin to it. Well, that's going to take a lot more to develop because that's essentially the difference. One serve is basically throwing the ball low and striking it like that. That's all you need versus the other serve. If you want to do it right, you got to have the continental grip. You got to be here in the secret power source. You got to drop behind your head. You got to come up way at the top to strike the ball. That's where you want to be hitting the ball. Okay? But and I'm telling you, 50% of you right now are in a pushing motion. You might not know you are. You might not have ever heard this ever from anybody, that you have a pushing serve rather than a throwing or swinging serve. And you're still looking up videos trying to serve like Roger Federer, trying to serve like Serena Williams, because you have no idea that this is actually the motion you have. And that maybe, if you want to win this year, you should just embrace that motion. There's nothing wrong with that serve motion if you want to win today. If you are in the camp to where you're trying to do all the right steps and you're actually throwing at the ball, but you are way off, you're way off. You're double faulting, you know, 2 times, sometimes 3 times in a game, right? It's like you're just so frustrated. You might want, in the short term, if you want to win matches, you might want to try and revert back to the pushing motion. Again, you're not going to see this on YouTube. People are not going to tell you this, but I'm telling you, if you want to win today and not next year or, you know, maybe as far as 3 years out on your serve, then you're probably better off. Probably about 80 to 90% of you are better off pushing your serve in who are watching this video right now than you are trying to develop a throwing professional style motion. because the ones that are going to try and develop a professional style motion, you better know that you are close, that you're this close from getting it, and that you have good serve mechanics, and that you understand and you feel the spin, and that you're almost there, and that you've seen yourself on video, and that your coaches are telling you you have a very nice serve motion. If you have that, then continue on your journey 100% for sure, and maybe you can get in the short term to develop a professional style serve. The other lot of you that just wants, hey Pete, I don't care if it's about winning or losing, I want to learn the art of the game, I want to learn the art of serving, I want to do it quote unquote the right way. Again, continue on your path, watching Roger Federer serve, watching Serena Williams serve, and trying to figure out that motion, and watching a lot of the videos I make in, Ryan knocking off the birthday hat from 2 Minute Tennis. Continue to watch those videos if you're close, or if you want to learn the art of serving. If you want to learn how to just win like Sunday, then really start to experiment with a push style serve if you feel like you're far off from doing that. It's okay. A lot of coaches are not going to tell you it's okay. A lot of coaches are going to tell you the only right way to serve is with a continental grip, and that's just not true, and here's why. Because there are thousands upon thousands of tennis players. If we're looking at recreational tennis, there's probably more recreational tennis players who have won a national title with a frying pan grip than with a continental grip. Because you have to remember, we've got 3-0 leagues out there, we got 3-5 leagues out there, we got 4-0, 4-5, and 5-0. Okay, the majority of people playing recreational league tennis are 3-0 and 3-5 players. And guess what? Every single weekend, there's tens and thousands of players who win with a frying pan grip. So it's okay to have it. You don't necessarily have to change if you want to win matches in the short term, and if you are okay with being a 3-0 or 3-5 or low 4-0 for the rest of your life. If you're somebody who's like, I'm not satisfied with that, I feel like my body's still young enough. I feel like I am a good enough student, a good enough athlete. I feel like I'm starting to understand this stuff, and I want to someday be a high 4-0 or 4-5. Well, then, and beyond, then you can't serve with the push serve. Then you absolutely need to serve with a professional style of serve. So I just wanted to make this video because I don't think anybody's really addressed the elephant in the room. The true biggest problem at recreational tennis in serving is that people just don't realize that there are those two types of service motions, and that it is okay if you want to win the short term to actually go with the absolute simplest form of serving. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't have to develop a serve like Roger Federer, like Serena Williams, unless you want to get to the higher levels of tennis, unless you're willing to develop, right? Unless you're already close. Does that make sense? If you are still watching this video and you are in that bracket that you want to learn the professional style serve, the absolute best way to break it down and get it is through serving progressions, step by step. That's exactly how you have to do it. That's how I did it. That's how you develop juniors to do it. That's how the pros have developed their serves, by step progressions. And I have a 7-day serve challenge. You go to 7dayservechallenge.com. That's free to get 48 hours access to it. If you want lifetime access to it, it's a steal of a deal. You can get in immediately for just $37 and have these videos for life. So go there right now before February 20th, because that's when we're starting. Also, let me know, comment below, after watching this video, where are you on the spectrum of things? Do you think that I'm right? Do you think that I'm wrong? Do you think everybody should serve with a continental grip? Is it okay to push your serve in and just win matches? What are your thoughts on this? Because I know you haven't seen many serve videos on YouTube talking about the serve this way. And I love teaching the serve, and I love teaching the serve the most advanced way. But I also want to be honest with my totally obsessed tennis players who just want to win tomorrow, that you don't need a professional style serve to actually win matches. This is Pete from Crunch Time Coaching. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.